One day I might feel like dressing like a Scorpio, and the next day I might feel like dressing like a Virgo Venus. And I think that that's really great too, because like we need to still be able to play and to like have a sense of fun and adventure with our looks.
Spend some time, don't wanna stuck in here all night. Is it true? Is it alright? Who we are when we're alone, chasing fire in the dark. I've been close, was that enough? So I'm counting the floors, not too sure what to find. Waited to scream, but I just cannot hide. And I've fallen so long, still not getting it right. Over and over, just hit me like that. So don't go when the lights are down. I love you, no. Your love gets me high, but it's alright. It gets me high. But it's alright. It gets me high. I've got some demons in my mind. Been 3 years, it's still haunting me now.
Hi, and welcome back. Today is kind of a fun day. It is a random Tuesday, and I have had a pile of clothes on my dresser for the last, I don't know, 3-ish weeks that I got from an order from Shein, and I had been meaning to do a little try-on video for them, and then that just got, I was busy. It was the end of summer. I was on vacation. I have a million excuses. But anyway, now we're doing it today. So I had an interesting sort of thought process at the beginning of summer. I've been watching a lot of content on TikTok about astrology and about using your different placements for, whatever advantages and like leaning into the energy that they give you for certain areas of your life. And so I see a lot of people talking about dressing like your Venus sign. And Venus is the sign of, yes, love, but also like abundance and beauty and finery and things like that. And so the thought process there is that wherever your Venus planet is placed in your chart, whatever house it falls into, whatever sign it falls into, those are kind of areas in your life where you can really play into the energies of Venus. Anyway, the energy of Venus can be really helpful in the specific areas of your life that your house and your sign affect. And so in my case, I am a Virgo Venus in the 11th house. And so I was watching videos on how to dress like your Virgo Venus, blah, blah, blah. And what's funny is that I really didn't resonate with a lot of the content I was seeing about that, because Virgo Venus, the first thing you see is clean girl energy, okay? So this is like business lady Kardashians, right? They're dressing all in neutrals, they're in white and tan, and they've got very clean faces, hair slicked back, and like, I am a clean, classy businesswoman. That is the look. Like, fawn trench coats and button ups and all of that, and very slick, but not overdone. That's the point. Like, it's got to be more of a natural, clean face and look. And this is just not my vibe at all. I'm way too eclectic of a person for that to ever be like a consistent look that I do. I change my look all the time regardless. I dress different on different days of the week depending on how I feel when I wake up that morning. So like having this very clean girl, business boss babe type of look just is not me. did not resonate. So this could also go in the other direction of like soft, ethereal cottagecore girl. And so very simple fabrics, nothing too fancy or sharp. It's very soft. It's very feminine. Okay. It's giving like girl running through a field of flowers in a cotton dress. It's giving long flowing wavy hair and no makeup. So that was kind of the other avenue. And I was like, yes, I can do that. So this summer I have been leaning a little bit into more of the cottagecore aesthetic that I really like to begin with. I feel like in this home, which does feel very cottagey, that works really well. And for me, like, I don't like being super done up. And I do really like a nice soft feminine dress and light fabrics, and like just wearing those type of things makes me feel really beautiful and feminine and really puts me in my feminine energy, and I love that. So I also just really like, slow living, soft living, intentional living, and being at home and cultivating that real sense of enjoyment in your daily life and appreciation for nature and the things around you. And so leaning into that aspect of my Virgo Venus did really resonate with me. So that's something that I've been kind of trying. I got this yellow dress and this other pink and sort of flowery dress, very flowy, very, very pretty. It's giving very demure, it's giving cutesy. I got these two dresses actually right at the end of the summer, and they were gifted to me and my friend. It's actually from Riker's stepmom, because she loves to shop, and then she often ends up with clothes that don't quite fit her. They're like the straps are too long or whatever, and so she'll pass them on to me, which is very, very kind of her. So I got these two dresses from her that I absolutely loved and really, really felt like that, cottagecore vibe that I have been enjoying. And so I'm thrilled about these dresses. They were, they were gifted to me, so I didn't have to do anything, except that this dress is a little bit big around the middle, so I am going to have to take it in a little bit. And thankfully I have my sewing machine, and I have taught myself how to do, minor alterations on clothes. So I'll be able to take this dress in, and I'm sure it will fit and look lovely for next spring and summer. But there are also people who are saying that instead of leaning into where your Virgo is placed, you should be leaning into your rising sign when it comes to your style. Because the rising sign isn't just like how you appear to the world and how people see you, it's also the energy that you are meant to move into during this lifetime. Your sun, yes, is an important part of you, and it's a lot about your personality and the way that you shine in the world. But your rising sign is a lot more about your core and who you are moving into in this life, and the energies that you should really be leaning into in order to have forward momentum and growth in life, in this, incarnation of it. And so as a Scorpio rising, I have had a little bit of a journey getting to understand the parts of myself that I feel really resonate with this placement as a Scorpio rising. I know people think of Scorpios and they're like, ooh, like dark, dangerous, mysterious, clad in leather and all of that. And so if you look up the vibe and the look for Scorpios, in terms of like, if you want to look on Pinterest about like lookbooks for ideas for how to dress like a Scorpio, you will see a lot of girls running around in leather and like all in black, like super made up, very dramatic, right? And that is kind of like the image of a Scorpio. And as a Scorpio rising, it's an energy that like sometimes I can fight against it because I feel like the world wants me to be my Leo sun. So in public, a lot of the times I try to embody my Leo sun, but I don't realize that I can still come off as a Scorpio rising because those traits and instincts are inside of me. And sometimes they are more who I am at my core than my sun sign. And so the things about Scorpio that really resonate with me is that Scorpio is a really deep placement. These are people who are very deep thinkers. They're really conscious of the world around them. They're very observant. They see everything and they think deeply about everything. They want to understand on a soul level why things are the way they are and why things happen. And they are more comfortable with the obscure, with the dark, with the questions that a lot of us have that we are not necessarily comfortable delving into answers to. They can be very mysterious and very secretive because a lot of their life is happening just in their head. They are constantly thinking about and examining everything and questioning everything and looking deep into things. And the world around them might see them and be like, oh, wow, I don't want to mess with her because she seems like, she doesn't want to be talked to right now. She seems like really intense about something. And that's probably just because we are like contemplating existence in our brains. Like my brain doesn't stop ever. I'm always thinking deep thoughts. I am always questioning everything. I am always asking questions and thinking about things that I think a lot of other people never stop to think about or question in their entire lives. And yet here I am. I can't stop it. I can't control it. That's just naturally what my brain wants to do. It wants to go deep. It wants to look at things unseen. It really resonates with the plight of the other and the black sheep. And I've always felt this way in life. I've just felt like I was different. Like I didn't operate or think the way that other people did. Like there was just something different about me. And so I've always really resonated as a black sheep in that way. I'm also extremely different from the rest of my family. So there's that. And there's also a side of me that's just darker, that is fascinated by a lot of things on the outskirts of society. And there is a part of me that is always seeking transformation. I am always looking to change and grow and continue to transform in life over and over and over and over again. I know that I'm never going to get to like a peak, like end point. There's not like a perfection point when I will suddenly be good or done with that. It's a constant process that I go throughout my entire life because Scorpio is the sign of transformation. And so that's very much a part of who I am. And so a lot of those traits, I think, once I sort of learned more about it, I was like, oh, yeah, that's me. That's actually really like me underneath everything else. Not for the eyes of other people, me when I'm alone. I really resonate with that Scorpio rising placement. And that is part of moving into that energy in my life, is becoming more comfortable with this, embracing it, and like being completely and totally okay with the fact that I do work differently from other people, that I am different, that maybe I am thinking a lot more deeply about things than a lot of the people around me. And that's okay. In a certain way, it's kind of like a burden that you just kind of have to bear, like understanding that you are going to have a much bigger perspective and a much deeper understanding of a lot of things in your world than the other people around you or the people even in it sometimes, which can make it hard to relate to others. It can feel a bit isolating. It can feel a bit lonely. And you can feel like there are not a lot of other people like you around. This is part of embracing this Scorpio energy throughout my life, is becoming like just okay with that and actually embracing it and seeing it as a strength of mine, because it gives me a perspective that not a lot of other people have. It can also give me an intensity and a passion that some people are just really lacking for anything in their life. But me, I've got intensity and passion about so many things. And I think that that's a wonderful thing. That gives me drive. That makes me want to do so much with my life and to be so much more. And I think that that is one of my greatest strengths. And so when I see people saying you should be dressing like your rising sign, that intrigues me in a different way, because if I really want to embody the energy of what I am moving into in life, for me, I see that as a Scorpio who is really confident in themselves and who does not care what other people think about how they look or how they think or work in the world and how they operate. It does not matter what anyone else thinks, because we're not doing anything for them. our purpose in our life here is to be inward and to really understand ourselves and figure ourselves out, and to be those deeper thinkers and those intuitives who can really, really help the people around us to see themselves better too, because it's not natural to a lot of people the way that it's natural to us. And so to me, I think of a Scorpio, and in my mind, I see a very embodied feminine woman. I'm sure, like, yes, Scorpios are men too, and male presenting people, like, obviously. But for me, when I think of myself in that energy, I think of a very empowered feminine, a divine feminine woman who knows exactly who she is, who knows her value, and who is not here to do anything for the approval of other people. And so when I think of that energy, I don't necessarily see like a dominatrix clad in leather. I see a witch. I see a woman who dresses however the fuck she wants to dress, right? And it might be a little bit darker, it might be a lot of blacks, it might be a little bit more of a dramatic look here or there, or it might be much more natural and like, I don't give a fuck what people think about how I look. So I'm gonna look however I wanna look, and I'm gonna look in the way that delights me and makes me feel like, you know, more empowered and more embodied and more like, this is who I am. And so to me, I saw that as an invitation to lean a little bit more into the side of me that is a little bit tougher. I do have a little bit of a tougher side. I'm not just a soft, girly girl. In fact, I would have never in my life described myself as a girly girl. I actually have, I enjoy being in my feminine and wearing soft, beautiful clothing and having long, wavy hair and all of that. That's fine. I love, you know, putting on a pretty dress and romping around in a field and dancing and all of that under the moonlight. You know, like, there's that part of me too, but then there's actually also the me who is really tough and strong and who is confident and knows who she is. And that version of me wants to wear combat boots when she's out and about in the world. That is a part of me. I kind of like being tough sometimes. I kind of like I've been wearing recently a lot of like t-shirts that are kind of tight fit with rolled sleeves, kind of like 50s greaser style, but like a t-shirt like that with a pair of jeans and some combat boots, I feel good in that outfit. I feel tough and strong and confident. So I'm also this fall, especially because I think this aesthetic works so well in the fall, I'm going to be leaning into my Scorpio energy a bit more. I'm probably not going to be wearing the pretty soft flowy dresses. I'm probably going to be wearing the combat boots and wearing black a bit more. And maybe, you know, like I bought this beautiful outfit from Shein. It's this black turtleneck, mock turtleneck, long sleeves, cut midriff with this witchy skirt that is very 90s. As a person who was a teenager in the 90s, I saw and I was like, this is amazing. It brings me back to my teen years when I was also experimenting with looks like that. And I just feel cool in this outfit. And like, I would wear this outfit with combat boots and feel like such a badass. And like, I love that. I like being out in the world and feeling like really self-possessed, you know? And I feel like that is the energy of what a Scorpio look would give me. And so I'm going to be leaning a little bit more into that. But that also means things like deconstructed jeans to me, and boyfriend jeans with boots, and a flannel, and I don't know, like I'm going to play around with it and see what feels good. I'm not going to be dressing like a full-on, you know, stereotypical witch, but I think I'm going to incorporate a little bit more of that witchy vibe into my look this fall, and I'm very excited for it. So right now I'm on the lookout for other sort of clothes that have that witchy or tough vibe to them. And yeah, so we'll see. I'm going to share a couple more of my looks throughout the fall with you guys, and let me know if you think that I feel more myself, and I like, what do you prefer for me? Is it the soft Virgo Venus look and vibe, or is it the Scorpio Rising look and vibe? Because I enjoy experimenting with my look. I'm very eclectic in that way. And so like this for me is like just a really fun experiment. And honestly, like, I tap into different parts of myself on a regular basis all the time. So one day I might feel like dressing like a Scorpio, and the next day I might feel like dressing like a Virgo Venus. And I think that that's really great too, because like we need to still be able to play and to like have a sense of fun and adventure with our looks. I am never someone who has ever been like, I only have to have one look and that's it. That's me. I'm the person who dresses like this. Like, nah, that ain't it. That's never been me. It might be you because you're a completely different person and you have different, you have different placements, you have different traits and needs, and that stability of having that like really set personality and identity for you might be really important. But I don't know, in human design I have a defined G center, I have a defined throat center, and I have a defined ajna, and they're all connected. That is one single definition pathway that I have. But then my head is open. So it's interesting because I do have a really well-defined sense of identity, and I have always felt very confident in who I am. And so the fact that I have never cared very much about having a style or a look or being defined as one thing or the other in terms of what I look like and what type of style I embody, I just think that's interesting, because maybe the fact that I do have a defined sense of identity means that I don't need that in order to feel confident in my identity. Whereas if you don't have a defined ajna, you might need that in order to feel more like you have an identity, in order to compensate for the fact that that isn't naturally defined by you. So maybe you take that energy of confidence in your identity and look and feel from other people who maybe you see that they just seem so confident in who they are, and maybe you like their look, and so you kind of incorporate that into your own, and you say, oh well, I'm going to do this and dress like this every day, and this is going to be my look and and like who I am, and that you sort of take on as your identity in a way to compensate for the fact that you don't have a naturally defined identity for yourself. Just a little human design thought for you there. But that is something that's interesting about me as a person, is that I've always felt very secure in who I am on the inside of my identity. Doesn't mean I don't enjoy exploring all of these things and learning new things about myself. Of course I do. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm so obsessed with learning more about myself. But I've never felt the need to look like anyone else. And I think that that's pretty cool. So maybe you can steal that bit from me if you want, if you have an undefined ajna. All right, well, that's it for this little sit down. I just wanted to try on some clothes for you and show you some of the stuff that I got that I was wearing at the end of summer and going into fall, some of the stuff that I will be, rocking. I got this really great navy skirt that is a very kind of 40s style cut. It's got these great pockets. And I've always wanted to have a skirt like that to wear with a nice brown chunky belt and a white shirt, the way that I modeled in the video, because to me that is peak like antiquarian, like Evie from The Mummy. Like I'm a modern academic. I work in a library or a museum. And it's a little bit old-fashioned, and I love an old-fashioned look. I love a vintage look. And so that type of an outfit with like 40s heels or with a nice boot, I think is going to look so, so good. And I love taking myself out to like the bookstore or, something like that to, in dressed up in an outfit like that, to just like go around and just do things that make me happy. Like that's going to be one of my adventure looks for sure. When I'm out and about having an adventure, I will definitely be using that outfit this fall a lot. I love it. I'm so excited about it. And I don't know which look that kind of, maybe that goes more into the cottagecore side. I don't know. It's like a light academia look, and I'm not sure how I would qualify that or like where I would place it. But I don't know. I really enjoy that type of a look because I'm eclectic. What can I say? I don't know. So anyway, yeah. I hope that you enjoyed this little look and peek at some of the stuff that I just got in this most recent shopping spree. I don't shop very often, and if I do, it's usually at thrift stores. So for me to actually go out with intention to like buy specific types of clothes for myself is pretty rare. So yeah, but as you can see, like I enjoy getting new stuff sometimes to help me play around with how I present in the world, and like it gives me different energies as I go out into the world to do things, and it can be empowering to play around with that. I think if I put on my like black Scorpio look and I sit down at my computer to work in that look, like fully with combat boots on, I'm gonna feel so badass and so like secure and confident in myself that I'm just gonna sit there and be like, well, today I'm doing whatever the frig I want, and it's gonna be whatever serves me best, and F anyone else and their thoughts of what I should be doing with my life. This is what I need to be doing right now. And I kind of like that energy for me. I think maybe I'll do it more often. What are your style placements? Let me know in the comments. Where is your Venus sign located, and what is your rising sign? And which of those two do you feel like you resonate more with in terms of how you best present yourself to the world and the energies that you want to embody when you are in public? We also dress for ourselves. Not everything is public, but you get what I'm saying. All right, I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments, and also let me know if you enjoyed this type of video. I don't know, it seemed fun to me, so I thought I would share with a little bit of my perspective on why thinking about this stuff actually can be beneficial for you. And I hope that you enjoyed the video and that it was beneficial for you on the other side. So like and subscribe to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here. I will see you again soon. I'm Jenny, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Where to go? It's been some time. Don't wanna stuck in